Welcome to Animaphix streaming experience. We are now connected to Slovenia and we have Spela Cadez with us. She is a well-known animator, even if she's not so old, but she's quite famous all over the world because the films she made were quite successful every time, every film, we can say. So as we asked to everybody, Spela, how you got involved in animation, if it's by chance or something that you were born thinking about animation, or what happened in your life when you were younger and a little bit after?
I came to animation by coincidence that I was studying graphic design and I was studying further on interactive design. And I was sitting so much in front of the computer that I was already in pain in my whole body. And then I went to a workshop of puppet animation and I suddenly found a media that was really so beautiful to work with materials, work with my hands, and I was able to tell stories through it. So somehow I found, by very much by coincidence, a media that was, yeah, making me happy while working on it.
And where was this in Ljubljana?
No, this was in Germany. This was my second studies. I studied first graphic design in Ljubljana, and then I went to Cologne to study on the Academy of Media Arts. And I was in this high technology university and ended up making stop motion movies. So this was
So you
very,
started really with stop motion. You didn't pass through the drawing animation, but immediately on stop motion.
yes. Actually, I never did drawing animation. I never did basic animation studies. I just made films out of I want to tell a story, so I didn't know how. Or this was the first workshop that I attended, and yeah, somehow fell in love with stop motion because it makes me it's possible to work with my, I don't know, with materials, with my hands, to paint, to yeah, I don't know, it's a nice media, and it's very open to experiment. That's what I really love, is when you sometimes don't know how to solve something, then you make a little, yeah, experiment or something. By coincidence, beautiful things happen.
And as
in,
your film,
in computer, I don't know how to come to such coincidences.
yeah. But drawing maybe is different. You draw by hand, but yeah, I can understand it. It's completely is another word in animation, stop motion, and in any case, stop motion is also a lot of different technique. Also, some of your films show this, that it's not only puppet animation, but there is also other way to use stop motion for animation. So your first experience in your film, what it was?
It was English title is Made to Measure, and it was my very first try to do anything. I was I don't know. I was just trying out how to do a puppet, and I was learning. There was no YouTube on that time, so I was still learning by books, by buying books online. I think I could buy books online on that time. Yes. So yeah, but it was great. It was, and I was quite fast. I think I did the film in less than a year, and I remember that my love for animation came after this workshop. The class took me to Annecy next week with them, and then that opened my mind that animation can be so much more than just yeah, kids entertainment. And so, and then a year after, I was in Annecy with my own film in the student competition. So this was in sort of, through traveling festivals, I sort of learned the yeah, the beautiful communication technique, and especially beautiful people behind them, the animation community.
Well, that's why the situation that we are living in this 2020 with a lot of festivals that are or cancelled or postponed or whatever. In any case, doesn't work because I mean I think you need to have a real festival as animator, and
Yeah,
not only this sort of I mean second choice that is like online animation, because in online animation it's not easy to meet people. Now we are trying to do something in our way to go to the festival, because we don't know what it will be in July and August. But in any case, we want to have a connection with the animator. That's why we are doing this Animaphix streaming experience, because people can in any case meet a little bit also in a virtual space, who are the animator, which face they have, and what they said about their work.
yeah.
So I see in your filmography there are at least a couple of films that you made with somebody else, especially with Martina Rosset and with Isabella Pocinska, are two very different films, one to the other. How you felt to collaborate with somebody that is not somebody who is working for you in the staff, but it's like equal level in some way?
Very difficult. No, I believe that it's difficult to have two directors if they don't like. There are directors who work together, but directors who are used to work alone and then work together, it's not a good
It's
choice.
like two horses in the same stable.
I mean,
Like,
I both time had a lot of fun, but on the end, I know it was not good for the film. It was
but in any case, the films are not bad.
the films are not
No,
good
the
after.
films are not. So, which was the film? I mean, you started with your animation, student animation, to be selected in Annecy and going to Annecy. Something is really fantastic experience, especially for students, and not only for students, because in some way also it is so big business place. There are so much love for short film and animator as artists, that I think that everybody has to be touched from this experience to go to Annecy, because you have like 10,000 people around you who love you in some way. Everybody loves you there because you are a filmmaker who bring people to cinema to watch this long series of film during the festival. So you were completely involved in animation from the beginning, so we can say. But which was the film that brings you to, I don't know, make you jump, if there is one, make you jump in the level you are now, that you are, I mean, known everywhere.
I don't know. I still feel like I didn't jump anywhere, that I'm still here.
Okay, so tell me, which is your favorite film of yours, if there is one?
I mean, I'm definitely most proud of Nighthawk.
Okay.
It's in a way most personal and most yeah, brave, I would say, because I did open up a little bit more to experiment, because I tend to be very narrative, and but I am sort of tempted by experiment, but it's not easy to make one. So I don't know. I think I'm most of proud of that film.
I would say I agree with you, because I like this film. Is one of the really few really film that is a dark film in the sense of the also in literature definition of this things. What are you doing now? Because I saw this. Let me. Orange is the new black.
Oh, that was just a commission. Oh, I
Yeah,
did
this
that.
is commissioned from Netflix for a TV series, but it's animated TV series, or what it is?
No, no, no. This is a live action TV series, and this was just a teaser, something
Ah, so they
to
asked
promote.
you to make an anime, stop motion puppet
Yeah,
animation
yeah,
for a real shooting series.
yeah, yeah.
That's interesting.
That was a fun production, but a very short one. We did all this in a month and a half, so it was
Oh, so it's great,
yes,
because in any case, it's a short film. It's 4 minutes long. So
yes, it was.
I mean, there is no script because there are things really happen like in teaser, so that you don't know what happened really. But
It's sort of a recap. If you would watch the series, you would probably know what was
yeah, sure.
going on. But
You're recognizing also the characters. But it's
yeah,
great. How
it was
was that this relationship with this
Netflix.
considered so big a production now in the world, Netflix?
I didn't really work for Netflix. I was working for an advertising agency who works for Netflix, or not really Netflix, but Netflix Asia, because this was made for an Asian market. So because they love puppets in Asia, so they had this idea to make the recap in puppets. But the problem was that this agency had no idea what stop motion animation is, and they were expecting things that were not possible to make in such a short period. And so it was a very, very difficult communication and experience. But it was very healthy for me to come back to my films to see, okay, the money world does not interest me. I don't want to work 18 hours a day and then, you know, being treated this way. So for me, it was fun going. I mean, it was very, very, yeah, useful for the motivation. Why am I doing my own films?
You did this in your studio, or you were going
Yes.
somewhere? Okay, and alone or with somebody helping you for
No,
that?
no, we were a small group of, we did everything with this time Slovenia, because I said we have no time to go, because usually I work with Germans or Croatians, or like co-production is now France. So it's something that I do a lot. But in this project, when I heard we have a month and a half, I said, I want to find only Slovenian crew. And we were around 10 or 11 to
Yeah,
work on this.
especially because the time was so short that you need
Yes,
work
yes, yes, yes.
notice,
No,
almost impossible.
it
I'm
was
sure
really,
in this case, in this, people can see in on internet this short film, because we can call it a short film. Sure, you don't have in this case the like for example in Balls, where the character become almost alive. So you have to animate with so fine way that only you can animate a character, or another guy can animate the other character. But I think in this Netflix commission film was everybody can do everything, because in any case, okay, you can't put too much humanity in one of the characters, because finally it will be a real shooting film.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It was, I don't know. It was, if I'm usually running marathons, this was a sprint. You know, all decisions were made in there was no time to rethink anything.
As one of your first film was Marathon with Isabella, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. That's one of the good ones.
And can you I don't know, you have some making of a film, Spela,
Mm,
that you can give us, that we can put after as a link for people who want to know a little bit better how it works and how it was working in some of the film. I don't know. I'm thinking more about the most famous film like Boles or Night Hawk.
no, I'm usually very, very bad with making of, because it's
But because
in
you are making the film.
film and I have no patience for the making of. But in this film that I just finished, and it will wait until the festivals will open, I did a lot of making of. So we even, yeah, so hopefully this will be, I will be have a little bit more material. But as long as the film is not out, I cannot show you the
So this
making
is a
of.
scoop. We have already a new film ready.
Yes, yes.
It's already ready.
It's not already. It was edited in Zagreb just few days before the earthquake, and then the borders closed, and I would have to be in Germany to do the sound post production and the
Where in
picture post
Germany?
production. Hmm? I would
Where?
have, in Cologne there is a picture post production. In Berlin there is a sound designer,
Oh,
and
yeah. There are many sound designers.
yeah, and but the one that I work since my graduation
Yeah, yeah.
film. And in Hamburg I would have to do the color correction, but all
So
this is
everywhere in Germany.
Everywhere in Germany.
But you have to wait. But Germany is in a good situation, I think. But we will see in the future because we can't say which day is today because in any case.
Yes. But as
But
long as my country is not in good situation, I don't think I'll be able to go anywhere.
yeah, sure. We will
But
see.
we have only like 5 new cases per day, but it's
Yeah. Okay, who knows? Maybe in the future will be less, or I don't know.
I don't know.
Anyway,
I
so
don't know.
you want to tell us something about this new film, or is all keep out in secret that you can't say nothing, you
No,
can't
we could.
show nothing, you can explain nothing about which kind of content it is, or how is the technique of the film? It
It's
reminds more Night Hawk or both in a way.
the same as this Nighthawk, but it's
Okay.
very different. It's very colorful. So, and humans are playing the main role. So, it's a little bit in the style. It's a bit different. It has again a difficult subject. Um, you're now frozen. Are you? No, no, you're
No,
not.
I'm not frozen. It's not so cold here.
Sorry. And it's about the subject is psychological violence in yeah. So yeah, I again took a very difficult subject, but hopefully it will be understood in the right way, or the subject will be a little bit more open to discussion than it is in our society. This was sort of my intention.
So can you explain to our audience, as they can see Night Hawk, how it works, this technique? What are you using? Which kind of things you are moving as stop motion, and which kind of I think you were using. I know you were using multiple level of camera for the camera, and so that, for example, light was something very accurate, etc. But can you explain from your point of view to people in a way that is understandable how it works with the Night Oak and also for this film that you are just finished?
I do have in on my page. I can show you. I can send you the link. I have some making of photos for the how this multiplan. I'm working on a multiplan table with a lot of multiplan glasses. But if you see the photos of the making of, I don't have a video on it, but there are some photos to have a little bit of an idea how this looks like. The
People, you have to wait the end of this interview, so we'll have the link of the film of the Finta website, and also
website, and
you
there is
can
like on the bottom of the page there are making of photos.
and you
uh,
can see some photos of this film, and but meanwhile, Spela is explaining us how it works with a multiplan camera.
yes, it's it's sort of a it's a fun technique because you have to create a three-dimensional space through two-dimensional paintings. We paint on mostly on cells because they're so thin that they don't have these shadows when you overlap them. And but now in the last film we used a lot of color paper as well, very thin one, and we painted a very thin layer of like shadows and or highlights with oil paint. So and I don't know what else to say.
And
It's a
what about the first level? I mean, the up level, the character or whatever is like a sort of cutout animation,
yes,
or yeah.
it's all cut out. In this new film, we were a bit more ambitious and did a lot of first drawing animation, and then we printed it out, and then we painted it, and then we animated it in on the multiplan. So there was more illusion of the space when the character is moving with additional like exchangeable parts. So this was sort of, yeah, something more sophisticated, I would say, and it looks really nice if you use a lot of these exchangeable parts. Then suddenly the movements are more real, or like more three-dimensional. They don't move like Egyptians, like in the basic cutout technique, I would say. And we use these pencils. They are called all surface pencils, and you can draw on cells with them. Like we redraw some things like the eyes moving, or so you actually, or sometimes we use oil paint as well. So it's like painting under the camera with combination of cutout and multiplan, but it can.
So it's like how much time you spent to do this new film?
Oh, we were shooting a year and something. It was just like, I mean, shooting and drawing everything we did in.
Okay, and how long it will be?
It's gonna be 8 minutes.
Oh, nice, nice. Not too much and not too
Not
few.
too much. No. Hopefully not too
Perfect
much.
timing.
Hopefully,
No.
yeah. But
So
let's hope that the.
how is to pass from a film with big real puppets that are moving like human beings step by step, frame by frame, and to animate with cutout stop motion? Because I mean, you are you are involved in a different space in some way, because the 3D of the puppet is something that is like similar to reality but smaller. While to work on multiplan camera, you really have to invent the spatiality of the things using light, drawing, and whatever it is. No, so
Yes, it's a new challenge, but I like new challenges. I think I mean, I became bored with puppet because I think I sort of came to a limit that I didn't know where to, and that's why this technique is more challenging for me. And I think it's still very unexplored to where it can go, or what we can do with it. And I don't know, I sort of enjoy it much more than with puppets. You're sort of like, yeah, um, you're close to this world that you build, and then you shoot it. It's very much like live action. You are, and in cutout, it's much easier to step to a little. For me, it's a sort of nice combination of sort of strange realistic way, but very easily you step into a very abstract world. So this is something that I love doing, is this where you lose the balance of the reality into like some more magical world. So this technique is really good for that.
so we are ready to see the film at next Annecy 2021. Huh?
I hope so. I hope there's gonna be a 2021.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, already we don't have the 2020 will be only online.
Yeah,
I like to see. I'm very curious about how it works, but it will be.
it's really sad in the moment for me. I would
I
I
was
would
ready to go, you know. So
Yeah, I know. We were all like, I mean, I was in Dark Studio for 2 years, and now my film is done, but I cannot finish it. It's painful. I feel like I broke my ankle just before the finishing line.
but I think that the fact that you can't finish it is also help you to wait for the festival, because if the film was already completely finished, it will be much more painful. Because now at
No,
least you think I can't go in Germany to finish the film, so you have a sort of excuse that in any case I can't go until the film
that's
is not
true.
finished to
That's
festival.
true. That's true. I
You
don't
see,
like the idea of putting everything online, especially there are films who work online very well, and there are films that
yeah.
are just, I don't know. I mean, this film, we worked so much on every detail, on every light, on every shadow, and I cannot imagine that it would work on the, I don't know, little
I think
tablet
that
or
mostly of the
iPhone.
animation need to have a big screen, and
Yes,
I don't
yes.
know what they are doing, and see if they are in any case inviting the jury to be in Annecy to watch the film in cinema. This I don't know. I think they will explain during a press conference soon. I hope that it will be at least like this, that somebody can go and see the film in the cinema to judge the film, because if not, it's really
It is.
painful for everybody.
I mean, it's already painful not to hear the audience. I want to.
No,
I
that's
mean,
okay.
I always love to see reactions of the audience and it's so beautiful to see that every audience has a different reflection on the film. So this is sort of, yeah, I don't envy those who are right now on the festival circus. I hope they will get the chance to go back to the cinemas.
Yeah. Okay. So,
Okay.
thank you very much, Spela Cadez from where you are exactly? You are in the neighborhood of Ljubljana or a little bit far?
I am 40 minutes drive away from
Oh, so
Ljubljana.
quite
On the
as Slovenia is not as big as Spain or USA, you are quite far in some way.
I am super far. No,
Okay,
it's
keep
we
in
are.
touch. Take care of you. Where is your son?
He's in homeschooling right now.
Okay, okay, sure, great.
It's a torture.
Bye, Spela.
Ciao.